Have you ever looked at a picture of a giant skyscraper like the famous Empire State Building in New York City and wondered what holds it up? It's a truly massive structure reaching high into the sky, and it seems like it would take something incredible to move it. Now, imagine a giant hole suddenly opening up in the ground. We call these sinkholes, and they can be big enough to swallow cars and even houses. This brings up a really cool and slightly spooky question. Could a sinkhole ever be big enough to swallow the entire Empire State Building? Let's consider the science and find out. To answer this question, we first need to understand what we're dealing with. The Empire State Building isn't just a tall tower. It's incredibly heavy. It weighs about 365,000 tons, which is like having over 50,000 elephants stacked on top of each other. It's made of steel, brick, and limestone, and it has stood tall in the middle of Manhattan for almost a century. For a hole in the ground to swallow something that huge, it would have to be an extraordinarily large and deep hole, something that would rewrite the record books for natural phenomena. So the idea itself is fascinating to think about, isn't it? Considering the sheer scale of such an event is a great way to start our scientific journey. We see videos and news reports of sinkholes appearing unexpectedly, making roads impassable or damaging property, which can make them seem like a mysterious and powerful force of nature. It's totally understandable to wonder about the limits of their destructive power. Could one form in the middle of one of the world's biggest cities and take down its most iconic landmark? The thought alone is like something out of a science fiction movie, but the answer lies not in fiction, but deep beneath the city streets. Before we jump to conclusions, it's important to remember that science is all about evidence and observation. We can't just guess, we have to look at the facts. We need to investigate what sinkholes are, how they are created, and most importantly, what kind of ground the Empire State Building is built on. By exploring these different pieces of the puzzle, we can put together a clear picture and arrive at a solid science-based answer. So, get your thinking caps on because we're about to dig deep, metaphorically of course, to solve this geological mystery together. Science is a verb, it's something you do. So, what exactly is a sinkhole? It's not just a random hole that appears for no reason. A sinkhole is a depression or hole in the ground caused by some form of collapse of the surface layer. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a secret cave hidden underground. If the roof of that cave becomes too weak, it can suddenly fall in and whoosh! Everything on the surface above it falls down into the space below. That's essentially what happens with a sinkhole. It's a process that starts invisibly deep beneath our feet, often over a very long period of time. The most common reason these underground caves form is because of water. Rainwater seeps down through the soil and into the rock below. Now, some types of rock can actually be dissolved by water, much like how sugar dissolves in your drink. Rocks like limestone, gypsum, and dolomite are called soluble rocks because they are particularly vulnerable to this. Over thousands of years, the slowly moving groundwater can erode these rocks, carving out huge caverns and tunnels underground. The ground on the surface might look perfectly fine and stable for a long time, but eventually the empty space underground can become so large that the layer of soil and clay on top can no longer support its own weight or the weight of whatever is on it, like a road or a building. When that support is gone, gravity takes over. The surface layer collapses into the void below, creating a sinkhole. These can form slowly over time, creating a dip in the land, or they can happen very suddenly and dramatically, which is known as a cover collapse sinkhole. These are the ones that often make the news because they happen without warning. Just how big can these sinkholes get? Some are truly enormous. The world's largest sinkhole is the Tiankeng, which means heavenly pit, in China. This natural wonder is over 2,100 feet deep and more than 1,700 feet wide. To put that in perspective, the Empire State Building is 1,454 feet tall to the tip of its spire. Now, this means the Tiankeng is deep enough to hide the entire Empire State Building with room to spare. Knowing that such massive sinkholes exist on our planet makes our original question seem a little more possible, doesn't it? Now that we understand how a sinkhole forms, let's turn our attention back to New York City. For a giant sinkhole to form, you need that special ingredient, soft, dissolvable rock like limestone. So the big question is, what kind of rock is hiding underneath the concrete and asphalt of Manhattan? Is it the soft, crumbly kind that water can easily wash away? The answer is a resounding no. The ground beneath the Empire State Building is not made of limestone or any other easily dissolved rock. It is built on something much, much stronger. New York City, especially the island of Manhattan, sits on an incredibly hard and durable type of metamorphic rock called Manhattan schist. This rock is ancient, formed hundreds of millions of years ago under intense heat and pressure deep within the Earth's crust. Schist is dense and crystalline, and it is not water-soluble. This means that rainwater and groundwater can't dissolve it to create those huge underground caverns needed to form a sinkhole. Think of it as trying to dissolve a diamond in a glass of water. It simply isn't going to happen, no matter how long you wait. This super strong bedrock is precisely why Manhattan is home to so many skyscrapers. When engineers were planning to build massive structures like the Empire State Building, they needed to make sure the foundation was secure. They drilled deep into the ground until they hit the solid Manhattan schist. The building's steel frame is anchored directly into this nearly indestructible rock, giving it a stable base that can support its immense weight without sinking or shifting. The schist acts as a natural, unshakable platform for the entire city's skyline, which is pretty cool. So, could a sinkhole swallow the Empire State Building? Based on the science of geology, it is virtually impossible. The very conditions needed to create a sinkhole of that magnitude simply do not exist under the city. There's no soft, soluble rock for water to erode away and create a massive hidden cavern. The city's foundation is rock solid. While it's fun to imagine such a dramatic event, the geological reality is that the Empire State Building is one of the most securely founded buildings in the world, thanks to the ancient and mighty Manhattan schist protecting it from below. Just because a giant sinkhole isn't going to swallow the Empire State Building, that doesn't mean New York City has no challenges to face. The world is a dynamic place, and cities, even one as strong as New York, have to adapt to changing conditions. One of the most significant challenges for this coastal city is rising sea levels. As our planet's climate changes, ice caps are melting and the oceans are expanding. For a city surrounded by water like New York, this means an increased risk of flooding, especially during major storms and hurricanes. Engineers and scientists are working hard to figure out the best ways to protect the city from the rising water. This could involve building seawalls, restoring natural wetlands that can absorb storm surges, and even elevating critical infrastructure. It's a huge undertaking that requires a lot of planning, engineering, and scientific understanding. Unlike the fictional threat of a giant sinkhole, rising sea levels are a very real and present issue that the city must prepare for to keep its people and its famous landmarks safe for generations to come. It's a different kind of geological challenge. Another major challenge lies deep underground, but it has nothing to do with sinkholes. We're talking about the city's aging infrastructure, particularly its famous subway system. The New York City subway is over 100 years old, and many of its tunnels, tracks, and stations are in constant need of repair and modernization. Keeping this massive transportation network running safely and efficiently for millions of people every day is a constant battle against time and decay. It's a testament to the engineers who built it, but it requires continuous work to keep it up to date. So while we can rest easy knowing the Empire State Building is safe on its bedrock foundation, it's exciting to see how science and engineering are being used to tackle the city's real-world problems. From geology to climate science to civil engineering, understanding how our world works is the key to solving challenges, big and small. It allows us to build incredible skyscrapers, protect our cities from floods, and keep our complex systems running. The world is full of amazing questions, and by exploring them, we can all help build a better, safer future. And that's what I call a world-changing view.